Hey, what's up guys? I'm Coach Ryan Family from the VIPAR Pit. Today is arguably one of my most important videos I've ever put out there in terms of making training progress. So the video is how to set a new 10 rep max PR or personal record. Now these principles apply to any repetition range, so 10 is just a random number I picked. But more importantly, what this does, it gives you tools in your toolbox to figure out how to train for improved performance. Whether your goal is to lose body fat, build muscle, get stronger, all the above, you need to have a progression plan in place in order to stimulate your body enough to force an adaptation, which forces progress, all right? And what I see is a lot of people, they may hit a record in the gym, they may hit a new 10 rep max, or more commonly, they hit a 10 rep max in an exercise, cycle away from it for a few phases, and then come back to it and don't know how to jump right in, don't know how to train to further drive that repetition max, okay? So today I'm gonna show you how to do it. This is a recipe, it can be tweaked, it can be adjusted, it's not the only way, but the principles will give you some guidance on how to proceed, okay? So first of all, let's assume you hit 315 pounds for 10 reps. And that is your PR, your lifetime PR. You've never done more than that in your life. And that's the best you've ever done. Now, it's time to train to improve that. That's how you get better. You want bigger muscles, you need to lift progressively heavier weights over time within the same rep ranges while eating a muscle building nutrition plan that allows you to build mass. You want to lose body fat, you need to increase your performance while eating in a calorie deficit, okay? All these things. So it's important to learn how to get stronger, right? So let's say you hit 315 for 10, and that's the best. Or you did it 9 months ago and you're back on this exercise again, you want to put it back in your program, you don't know how to progress. So the first phase would be an accumulation phase or a volume phase. And in this phase, the goal is to build your work capacity to be able to tolerate a large workload to further enable that progress. If your best is 315 for 10, you could do, your workout could be 5 sets of 10. Using 225 for all your sets. Okay, that's a big volume. Now that 225 is gonna feel light, especially if you just did this recently and you're stepping into a new training cycle. That 225 is gonna feel super easy. And that's a good thing, okay? Now by the third, fourth, fifth set, the challenge might step up, okay? But for all intents and purposes, it's less intense. We're doing a lot of sets here because we wanna stimulate your body to build work capacity so you can handle a large workload. So there's volume. This helps build muscle mass. This helps build your resistance to fatigue, all the things that are necessary to eventually help you to get stronger than that, okay? Within this model, you have a couple options here. One of the first things you could do, and you could call this phase one, this could be a whole phase, and we'll get into how we incorporate it a little bit later. But phase one, you could just do 225 for 5 sets of 10, and then the next time when you repeat the workout, you could do 235 for 5 sets of 10. And then the next time, try to do 245 for sets of 10. And keep the same 5 sets of 10 model and just try to increase a little bit of weight each time. That's one of your options. Another option would be to do this with decreasing rest intervals. So keep the 225 for 10 constant and maybe start with 2 minutes rest. And then the next workout, 100 seconds rest, and the next workout 70 seconds rest, and start to decrease your rest period with the same weight to help build work capacity. Okay, that method of progression would be beneficial if your goal is fat loss as well. Okay, this in blue down here, I should have mentioned, these are the triggers that you can pull to try to stimulate progress. So we talked a little bit about rest. Another thing you could do is AMRAP, or as many reps as possible. So you can do your 225 for 4 sets of 10, and on the 5th set, do as many reps as you can do. It may be 18, it may be 22, whatever it may, or it may just be 10 or 11, or maybe 8, who knows. But the idea here is you're hitting that one set kind of to failure to stimulate muscle growth a little bit better. So if your goal is just to get jacked, this is a good model to build your work capacity and then hit that last final set to failure. You can increase the weight, we talked about that going up. You can increase the sets. So you can set a given rest period, so let's say 90 seconds rest. Workout 1, you do 5 sets of 10. Workout 2, you try to add a 6th set of 10, and you keep going as long as you continue to get 10 reps. That's another viable option for progression. You could also add pauses, so 225 for 10, and then maybe start incorporating a pause in the deep bottom position of the squat. These are all options for you to incorporate to help you progress this, okay? So that's phase one. Phase one is you go through that. Now phase two, we're going to intensify it a little bit, so intensification. First phase was focused on volume, now it's focused on intensity. Intensity is relative to weight on the bar. So you can still do your sets of 10, but now you're going up to 265 pounds, and you're trying to do 3 sets here. Still, it's sub-maximal relative to your best effort of 315, but you're doing 3 full sets. You're doing 30 reps instead of just 10 reps, okay? So this is another option. What are your options for progression here? You can increase weight. So in the first workout of phase one could be 265 for 3 sets of 10. The next workout could be 275 for 3 sets of 10, and then 285 for 3 sets of 10. That's one option. Another one is an AMRAP. So you can keep it at 265, and on the last set, maybe you get 13. And then the next week after that, maybe you get 15, and then maybe you get 19. That's another option. Pauses are also an option here too, dropping down, holding for a 1 to 2 count in the stretch position and coming up. So that would be phase two, or intensification. Then you have the realization phase, or when you are realizing the benefits of your hard work. This is when you essentially peak. So volume is going to be low, intensity is going to be high. So you're not doing a ton of work, but you're doing a high level of work. In this instance here, we're looking at 1 all-out work set. So I have 3 sets listed. When you do this method here, the realization method, it's only 3 sets, and you want to think in terms of easy, moderate, and all out. So your first set should be easy. 205 for 10, piece of cake. We're just warming up here. Next set, 285 for around 4 to 6 reps. This is moderate. Why only 4 to 6? Because we're just trying to get your brain and your nervous system used to the load. We're not trying to create fatigue with this. And then you go slightly over your best. So in this case, 325, and you try to hit it for 10. If you get it, guess what? You got a new record, you improved. And this could stretch for a couple workouts. So your first workout of trying this method, you may get that 325 for 10. And then maybe the next time you might get 335 for 10. And then maybe the next time 345 for 10. And now you've just tagged 30 pounds onto your old personal best, okay? Another option here is with AMRAPs. So you may do 325 for 10, then maybe you do 325 for 12 in the next workout, then maybe 325 for 15. That would represent a big increase in progress over what you previously did, okay? Now, how do you orchestrate this into a long-term program? A couple options here. If you have a definitive timeline, so say for example you have an athlete that you have to stop training hard for a competitive season by a certain date, then you want to break these in phases. Maybe this is a 4 to 6 week phase, this is a 4 to 6 week phase, and this is a 4 to 6 week phase. If you're just training to be awesome, however, you just want to look good naked, you want to be jacked, you enjoy the training process, you could use each model until it stops working. And that's going to be very individual. I know some people that could run this for 8, 9, 10 workouts in a row before they stall out and then need to switch to the next phase. So my advice would be use it for as long as it continues to work. When this stops working, now let's go to intensification. Fewer sets, heavier weight, stimulating progress. When you stop making progress there, boom, let's pull the fatigue down and just hit one hard all-out set, the heaviest possible way to the cycle. And you could probably do that for a couple workouts in a row. When you stall out there, boom, back to the start. Another option too is if you're very advanced, you've been training for a while, this could be a workout to workout basis. This could be workout 1, workout 2, workout 3, back to workout 1. And you're trying to make small incremental improvements over time. So this could be a rotational cycle, if you will. Again, if you grasp this concept and understand this concept, you will be light years ahead of most people in the gym. This work here is very far sub-maximal. If you're capable of 315 for 10, 225 for 10 is a piece of cake. You're leaving a lot of reps in the tank, but that means you can do a lot more total sets, a lot more work, okay? And possibly a lot more reps on an AMRAP, or as many reps as possible set on your final set. The more you get toward the intensity level of the spectrum, the closer you're operating to your true 10 rep max, the fewer sets you can do. That's why in this final phase, we're only actually doing 1 work set, because it's very, very intense relative to the repetition bracket, okay? I hope this video sheds some light on you for the training process. I hope it sparks some new ideas for you. I am Coach Ryan Family from the VIPAR Pit. If you like this video, please hit subscribe below, and I'll catch you next time.